everything that I'm doing right now.
Yeah, no, exactly. I know what you mean, man. And you talked about like in previous interviews that you moved to like France, to pursue your music career, and then it works well, like the 2016 mixtape, and then I think years later you moved here, and you moved to Parkdale. So out of all the areas like in Toronto, what made you decide on like how Parkdale was home for you, and what were like some qualities or factors that made you decide that it was a great place to live?
Sure. So when I moved to Toronto and decided to move to Parkdale, originally because I knew that I was moving to Canada overall to really push my creativity to the next level. I just wanted to be like, okay, I'm gonna be, and the way I was seeing that is like I will be living in North America overall, because I was like, the good thing is that instead of being in France, Europe, is like I'm now so closer to the United States, right? We're also usually when you make what people call urban music, right, then it's most of the time over there that is really hot. So then to me, being based in Toronto, that was the whole vision. Like, okay, let me take my creativity furthest and travel back and forth to the States, for which I've been doing ever since I've been here, and even before that. And then when I was observing Toronto in terms of creativity and all of that, actually, originally I was thinking about Scarborough, but then I also knew that when it comes to like work that I would have to do, most of the time it would have been downtown. So then I was checking that, okay, downtown to Scarborough, Scarborough to downtown, then quite, a distance. So that's why I was like, okay, let me be closer to downtown. And looking at different neighborhoods, then Parkdale was the one that I picked because, it's known to be also a neighborhood where you had a lot of creative and a lot of creativity, art galleries and things like that. So, and it's a neighborhood that is also multicultural. So to me, yeah, that was those reasons. And it was also interesting to see that the Weeknd, who was born and raised in Scarborough, then after that, when he decided, to leave his parents' house, moved to Parkdale, right? So to me, that was also an interesting story, because the Weeknd is an artist that I really appreciate, and I really have a lot of respect for his journey and everything that he's been able to accomplish. So I guess that was also one of the reasons. I was like, yeah. And I went to check the House of Balloons. It actually is located in Parkdale. I even made sure that I include that in the Outsiders Victory video, right? So that was some of the reason why I decided to come to Parkdale, and no regret so far. It's a beautiful neighborhood. Again, you can feel a creative energy, a creative force here. Multicultural, not too far from the downtown core, and yeah, just a lovely neighborhood, man. I love it here.
Parkdale's like a very nice area too, and I know like with some people like a certain neighborhood like means something to you, like in a sense. So
yeah,
in that sense, what does Parkdale like mean to you, like in your own terms and in your own vision?
Sorry, said that again?
Like what does like Parkdale like mean to you, or like the vision that it has for you? Like do you have like a general meaning of like what Parkdale means to you, like in terms of like your music and with culture?
Yeah, I mean honestly, when I think about Parkdale, I think about home. I really have that feeling of like I feel home. I feel welcome. I feel that I can just be me as an individual. So yeah, that's what Parkdale means to me. And but again, I try not to also limit myself, because the funny thing is that when it comes to creativity, like my main sound engineer, or just the places where I record the most, they are still in Scarborough. I have a community there, I have my people there, and the two places I spend time the most is actually Parkdale and Scarborough. So to me, at the end of the day, it's just being able to express myself and to achieve my goals and manifest my vision. So yeah, Parkdale, home, that's what I can say. Yeah.
I know recently, like Parkdale had like some situations just recently, like with this year, and I think some years back with the whole like anti-black racism in like some of the schools. So like in Queen Victoria, there was like an issue with the teachers, the black teachers at the school, like with like the racist message. And then recently in Parkdale Collegiate, like there was a teacher in blackface as well. So with the people, like the community, like taking a stand against like the anti like black racism like happening like in those schools, do you feel like they took a great stand in taking charge in handling the situation? And like, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, I was actually observing that a little bit from afar, but actually more recently, that teacher actually got fired, literally like yesterday. And then they're also gonna put in place some training, to help, I guess, people, to just educate people about things that probably technically should be common sense, but that some people maybe might ignore. So yeah, definitely is not something good, to do some black faces. So that was very, very inappropriate. And I hope that, yeah, we will never see this type of thing, whether it's in Parkdale or anywhere in the world, right? So to me, it was actually even surprising to see that it was happening in Parkdale. And then seeing, yeah, those movements about anti-black racism. So I feel like, yeah, it's really sad to see that, and I really hope that people will learn from that incident and that we will never witness this type of incident ever again and again, not just in Parkdale, but anywhere. Because in 2021, and honestly, sometimes I'm just surprised and not surprised at the same time that this type of things still happen,